And then I'm also going to see if our Facebook Live will work.
Okay.
Okay, great. Well, let's get started. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this month's Virtual Rehabber Club Series. My name is Katie Totman, and I work for the Office of Historic Preservation. And we have with us today some great folks from Baird Foundation Repair. And they're going to share with us information about just kind of what you as the customer can look for and what they do. They do a lot with both pier and beam and slab foundation. And just some other housekeeping rules before we get started. We do have we'll have a Q&A at the end of the presentation. And feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Both Stephanie and I will be monitoring that, and we'll keep tabs on those. And like I said, we'll get to those at the end. And then without further ado, I will pass it on to Baird Foundation. And if y'all want to introduce yourselves and go from there.
Hi, I'll start off. My name is John Chaney, and owner of Baird Foundation Repair.
I'm Will Chaney, actually the brand ambassador for the company.
My name is John Hanna, and I do commercial sales here at the company. Again, Katie, we'd like to thank you again for inviting us, and thank everybody else for taking time out of your day to join us, and hopefully we'll be able to, get some answers for you and some solutions as well. And again, like she said, we're here to talk about foundation issues and foundations and concrete services that we offer, and how to schedule an appointment with us, and if you want us to come out and have your home inspected. Why do you want to fix your foundation? It is important to know that when living in South Texas, problems arise because we are known for extreme temperatures and expansive soils. For example, in May, with all the recent rain, it caused the soil to absorb all the moisture and expand. Whereas now, just a few weeks later, we're already drying out and the soil is beginning to contract. Okay, and as we already hit triple-digit numbers soon, we are going to see that continue as the drought starts, getting in the summer, and the foundation issues will become more prevalent. We hope the presentation today will give you an idea of not just the problems you may be seeing, but also how to prevent issues from happening in the future. We want to start out by pointing out how important it is to repair your foundation. While it isn't the most fun repair to dive into, all other home maintenance and important improvement projects are dependent on making sure you have a solid foundation. Urgency does matter. As you see in the slide above, the fact that we're here, a lot of people wait to put off this repair, but we know the longer you wait, the more expensive and possibly more invasive that this project may become. Here are some top reasons that we found people prioritize for fixing their homes. First of all is the quality of life. Think about your own driveway. Are there any places that are causing you to consistently trip? What about your kids? Are they unable to ride their scooters or play basketball because the driveway is too uneven? Okay, secondly, peace of mind. Once you get your foundation done, you know that you've taken care of fixing a major component to your home, and that the warranties we have are transferable, and that'll give you a better sleep at night. And lastly, your home's value. You need to ask yourself how long you're going to be planning to stay in your home. If you're trying to sell your home now and it currently has a foundation issue, the price that you're going to be able to sell your home for is going to reflect that. On the other hand, if you can proudly say that Baird has done the work and you have a transferable warranty, your home's value is already restored. Okay, signs and symptoms. It is important to know that homes typically have two types of foundations, slab or pier and beam. And most of you in this meeting have a historic home, which is typically pier and beam. So let's get started with some of the common signs and symptoms that you might be noticing and experiencing around your home. Some visual signs that you may see are floor cracks, separation of walls and floors caused from the floor sinking, sagging floors, and settling columns, which you may not be able to see because those are underneath your house. A couple of most common interior signs also are drywall, and you'll see the drywall cracks usually at the corner of windows and door frames because that's the weakest point. And these cracks may seem to be progressing slowly over time, but that does not mean they need to be ignored. They need to be addressed immediately. Also, you'll notice sticking doors and windows. If you're constantly having to shim, doorways or, pry open windows, that's a sign every day. Are there any, kind of type in the chat if you've seen any of these issues around your house? Outside of your home, if you're looking at the exterior, these problems will both be for slab and pier and beam. Stair step cracking in the brick or mortar, and then also chimney separation when you see the chimney pulling away from the house. Another area that we specialize in is concrete lifting and leveling. This pertains to areas such as driveways, sidewalks, patios, and pool decks. What's different about concrete is this is usually the first impression of your home that is seen as you pull up. These repairs can instantly restore curb appeal and safety to your home. Whenever we come out to inspect your foundation, we can also take a look at your concrete. These are some of the signs you may see. You see cracking in the slabs, you see uneven or sinking slabs, cracked sealant, pitting and flaking concrete. One important question that we always get asked is that who's responsible for fixing the sidewalk out in front of your house? And the homeowner is actually responsible for fixing that. But there is a program offered through the City of San Antonio that offers a rebate, and they'll reimburse you a percentage of that amount to get those repairs done. And it's on the website there for San Antonio. So these are some of the things to look around your house. And I'm now going to give it over to Will, and he will talk to you about fixing and preventing these issues.
Yeah, thanks, John, for going over those signs and symptoms. So how can we fix your foundation if you're having these problems? So step one, give us a call. The first thing you can do, give us a call. We'll send out our system design specialist. Our specialists will come out, look at your home, and see, if those areas of concern that you may have. We will typically, with a pier and beam home, actually, our system design specialist will actually get underneath your home and see really what's going on. Whether beams are rotting or if columns are sinking or settling. So moving on to step two, the second part of the process. So when we're going to install these products into your home, we have a few ways of actually fixing foundation of your home. One of those is our concrete post that we use to actually replace and lift and level. But a second thing that we use is our smart jack system designed to fix those sagging floors that you may experience. And these things actually have a few advantages over the concrete post. One is that concrete post typically goes down, 24 to 30 inches into the ground. But this smart jack system, concentric smart jack system that we do have, can actually go down 10 to 15 feet, sometimes even 20 feet, depending on the weight of the structure. Also, the other great thing about this system is that the system is adjustable. Even the homeowner could get under there one day, and if they're experiencing some sinking, to actually adjust the system. Or even maybe even hire a handyman to actually go and adjust the system. So moving on to our piers that we typically put in. This may pertain more to a concrete slab foundation. And in this video right here, it actually shows us clearing out, digging out, and then installing our push pier system into a slab foundation. Now, you see these two piers here, our push pier and our helical pier. These are two piers that we typically use. Our push pier is our usually most common application that we use. The biggest difference between our push pier and our helical pier is the method for us to know the depths at which the products to be installed. With the push pier, it's much simpler. It's more or less us using the weight of the foundation of the home to actually push the pier to non-expansive clays and sometimes even bedrock. With the helical pier, we typically get a soil test to know how deep we would drill these helical piers. Moving on to our concrete solutions. So, like John mentioned earlier, if you're seeing any signs, anything that's going on with your concrete, like cracking or uneven, or your concrete's actually settling, we offer our product called Polylevel. Polylevel is able to actually lift and stabilize your concrete. Our common applications are patios, sidewalks, pool decks, and driveways. And then the perks of this product are it's far less invasive than actually going in and completely ripping out a slab and then repouring it. It's also much more cost-effective than actually fully replacing. This foam is actually very lightweight compared to most traditional methods like mud jacking. It also is hydrophobic, which is simply it isn't affected by water. It's basically, in a sense, waterproof. It actually prevents it from washing away when we do experience periods of heavy rain. And also, one of the most appealing things about it is that it also only, after we install it, about 15 minutes afterwards, it's ready to use. Our last two solutions, these are usually recommended in addition to our Polylevel technology. This is our Nexus Pro joint sealant, and this product is used to prevent moisture or water to actually go down and go underneath and wash out the soil underneath your concrete, causing it to sink and crack and settle. The other product that we offer is our Sealant Pro, which is our concrete sealant. This can actually protect your concrete from UV rays, from water affecting it, and also from other elements, like if you've seen the common oil spill on a concrete slab, this product can actually protect from that. And this just goes in a long way into trying to extend the life of your concrete. So once you sign a contract and gone with us, we'll then send out our trained and experienced crews to provide you with wow customer service. Here at Baird, we look to redefine the industry. And one of the best examples is simply when you meet our crew and you see our products actually being installed. So it's over and done with here at step 3. We left your home better than we found it. And what helps you rest at night after we've put our products in, whether we've repaired your foundation or your concrete, these products are actually backed up by a warranty. So we're just a quick call away, and we'll send out someone to inspect and see if there's anything that needs to be fixed, or if you just have any questions. So how can I prevent these issues? Well, if you're one of the lucky ones that isn't experiencing some of the signs and symptoms that John mentioned earlier, there's actually 4 things that we recommend to actually protect your home from having a lot of shifting and sinking in the soils around your home. The 4 things are really an effort to maintain the moisture levels in your soils. If you have a huge contrast in super wet soil around your home and then super dry, this is where the problems arise. The first thing that we recommend is mulch around your home. I know, weird, right? But it actually goes a long way in trapping a lot of the moisture and providing a more constant moisture level. The second thing that we recommend is not planting trees or big plants around your home, because the roots can actually go down and suck up a lot of the all the water around your soils in your home. And then also, if you do happen to have a tree really close to your home, we recommend root barriers to help keep the moisture constant. And then third, we recommend gutters. Gutters are a really effective way to getting water away from your home as quickly as possible. A lot of times we run into problems where homeowners are having too much water sitting around their home. This is causing their foundation to sink into that very soft and wet soil. And then the fourth thing we recommend is a soaker hose. So a soaker hose is a hose that we recommend putting around your home to actually water your home's foundation. And this is the amount that you should water is contingent on the weather. So, if it's super wet, recommend not watering as much, and if it's super dry, we recommend more watering. And this, on average, we probably recommend about 2 to 3 times a week watering. But the name of the game for that is just don't overwater. So why Baird? We're actually going to give you a few reasons why you should choose us. We've been in business since 1969. My grandfather actually started it over 50 years ago. And we actually just recently opened up a second office down in Corpus to actually better serve South Texas. We're also still, and hopefully will always be, family owned and operated. And so, here are some resources that you can go to learn more about our products and the solutions that we offer outside of just our website and this presentation. And over the past few years, or over the many years actually, we've received recognitions for our work. And most recently, one that we're really excited about is that the San Antonio Business Journal recently made us the 2021 gave us the Family Owned Business Award. And we're really proud of that because we've been able to carry on what my grandfather wanted our company to be about, and that is to put the customer first. And we're just super proud to see that being held onto, and our focus of our company is causing us to win awards like these. And lastly, we're here to help and want to help you all. And this is our address, our phone number, and our website. And we're going to leave this up here for y'all so y'all can check that out and write it down. And then we're just going to open it up to questions. Pass it over to John Chaney here. No pressure, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was super informative. We do have a couple of questions. Let's see. Tina asked if there are any historic homes in the Southtown area that you've all worked on or that you're, I guess, familiar with. Would be like
Southtown, yeah.
King William area.
We worked on quite a few of those homes in those areas. We've been doing this, for a number of years, and we go in there quite often working on homes.
Perfect. Let's see let me pull up my screen here. Let's see. Do you guys recommend certain materials for skirting? I know if it's in a historic district, we do have guidelines on like what, we can approve at the staff level, but just from a professional standpoint, is there any specific material that y'all would recommend?
Yeah, we normally put on a metal lath and plaster around the bottom of the home. Seems to last really well. Sometimes you put a metal flashing down, it'll tend to rot or decay, fairly quick. The metal lath and plaster seems to withstand all that, and we can put it into the ground anywhere from 6 to 12 inches, and it kind of helps direct water away from the foundation, especially if there is an issue of a flat lot and water kind of hanging around. And wood, it's, not a good product because of, you know, termites and rot, wood rot, things of that sort. Basically, anything masonry is probably the best to put around the underpinning, but with the historical, right, you got to kind of stay with what is already there, right? So,
yeah.
that's kind of what we were up against, you know, having to replace and put back exactly, you know, what was there to begin with. I hope that
Gotcha.
does that answer your question there on that
Yeah,
one?
I think it sure does. Let's see. Susan asked if there's a price difference between your system for the pier and beam versus the more standard like concrete pillars and posts.
Yes, the Smart Jacks concentrics, you know, they are a little more costly. You know, we do go deeper, especially if we have heavy enough structure to where we can push these piers down. We have in the past driven the pipe, you know, in the neighborhood of 15 feet. So you have 15 feet versus 2 foot to 36 inches. Two-story homes, you know, the code is 30. So there's quite a difference there. And it does cost a little more. You get a better warranty. You know, we can put a 25-year warranty on those piers for settlement, whereas a concrete post normally carries a 5-year warranty. So there's quite a difference there. You know, I really think that as we move forward, you know, and then people are seeing what we have and seeing what they can accomplish, you know, these Smart Jacks and concentrics are definitely becoming more and more popular.
Perfect. Let's see. And then Amanda asked, how does the transferable warranty work? How long does it last? If that's not too long of an answer.
Well, we're a little different than most companies. You know, I think most companies charge every time a home changes ownership. We don't charge anything for, you know, when there is a change of ownership. And we stand behind our warranties, such as our steel push piers on slab foundations. We stand behind them a lifetime. So long the structure's there, we'll stand behind our piers. That's how much we believe in them. We get our products through a company in Omaha called Support Works. They supply us with all of our steel products, and it's the latest in technology. And you know, all these products do a really good job. And like our Smart Jacks, you know, the 25-year warranty against for workmanship on them that comes straight from Omaha. But you know, the main thing is if you sell your home, I hope you brag about Baird and the foundation work that we've done for you, and pass the warranty on to the new owners. That's about as simple as it gets, you know. And if there is ever an issue, all they have to do is just call us.
Perfect. Let's see. Approximately how long does the foundation repair take? And do they have to leave their home, or can they stay in the house when the work's being done?
Oh yes, you can definitely stay in the home. Sometimes it might be a little noisy, but that's about it. Especially on a pier and beam home, you know, all the work for the most part is being done underneath, under the floor. We will come in maybe a time or two and take some elevations, and then there will be a day or so that we do our lifting and trying to, you know, recover some of the unlevelness of a home. Of course, you know, normally that's why most people call us, because their floors are not even or level, and so we do try to do our best in recovering and lifting those floors back to where they originally was. Sometimes that's kind of hard to accomplish without causing some damage and things. So sometimes it's, you know, we have to kind of take what the structure will give us. But yes, a person can continue to stay in the home, just a little bit of inconvenience, I guess, with our workers, you know, being around, maybe a guy or two coming in, checking elevations, about it. But other than that, you know, it's not that disruptive, you know.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome. Let's see. And Susan asks, she says that her house is built on like varying levels because the ground wasn't leveled before building. Rather, it was built, I guess, just on the site at the time. So there wasn't enough space like on one site, I guess, to stand up under it. So I think it's on probably on like drops down a little bit. She asks if the smart jack system can accommodate like different, I guess, levels of the ground. Like, I think I understand what she's talking about. Does that make sense? I'm trying my best to.
What she's saying, that her house is kind of built on the side of a hill. Is that?
I think so, possibly, or like it wasn't. And I've seen this before. Yes, yeah. She says it was built like on different heights.
Yeah. No, we can actually cut the steel, you know, as we drive it, and we can custom fit these smart jacks to fit whatever elevations we need. You know, they'll just be, you know, we just have to have enough room to work, definitely, you know, and code is 18 inches. You know, you have to have 18 inches of clearance under a home in order to be classified as under code, you know, and we do dig out quite often the soils under these homes to achieve that depth. But, you know, if it's like we've had smart jacks 18 to 2 feet on one end of the house and 4 feet on the other sticking up, so they can be, you know, sized and fitted for whatever we you know, happen to run into.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, she clarified that, like, basically on one side of the house, there's a lot of room where you could maybe even kind of duck under, like walk in there, and then the other side, it's really shallow, or low.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you answered the question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we just more or less custom fit for the situation.
Gotcha. Awesome. Let's see. And then Robin asks if, she says her plaster walls are already cracking, potentially from foundation issues. Will fixing the foundation possibly crack them further in y'all's experience?
Well, normally, yes, it can. We see a lot of that if someone home is unlevel and they went in and repaired the drywall or the sheetrock. Maybe they've readjusted the doors to where they work better, things of that sort. And if you do those things and then have us come out and try to re-level a house and do some things like it, well, naturally it's going to destroy all that work that was done. But normally, if, you know, you start seeing cracks and get us out and get us to repair it early on, a lot of times them cracks will close back up and really kind of get back to normal pretty quick. But when we see homes that's been left unlevel or just not taken care of for a number of years, those are the ones that usually will have more issues as we try to straighten them up as the ones that, you know, are addressed fairly quick.
Awesome. And then Amanda asks, what sort of repairs do you see that are needed on the interior post foundation work or repair?
Well, the interior of a you know, a pier and beam home, if it's setting on cedar posts, normally, you know, after, you know, these homes are normally 50, 100 years old, 75, whatever it may be, and they're just worn out, you know, rotted, and they start sinking down with the weight on them, and we just got to put new posts and things of that sort, you know, kind of in between, or actually remove some of them on corners and actually put a new post right where they were. But normally what we see is just, if it's wood, they're rotted, decayed, and just no longer able to support. And if it is some kind of a brick column, what have you, over time, the ground has expanded and contracted through the wet and the dry parts of the year. And it really just puts pressure on these columns, and they start cracking and really kind of falling apart. And especially in a lot of these historical homes, you'll see that going on, even with the concrete post. You know, it's been there a number of years. It's under such pressure because, you know, these soils can move a structure when they expand. And, you know, it just tends to crack these masonry columns and things, posts.
Awesome, thank you. Let's see here. Robin asks, in your experience, probably specifically for older homes, do you ever have windows break, or like when you're, you know, when the foundation is being re-leveled, either windows breaking or the glass specifically break, like once every, like if the windows are kind of wonky and the foundation gets fixed, kind of pushing them back into place?
Normally we don't. We've seen a lot of windows over the years that were broke or cracked before we got there. You know, and that's what kind of spurred people on to call us and have us out and take a look at it. But no, really don't. You know, like I say, the only time we would see anything like that would be if someone installed a new window, the floor was unlevel, and then we were called to lift it. Then we could actually put that window in a bind, you know, the actual structure, you know, comes up. Well, it could put that window in a bind and crack it. And I guess over the years, you know, we've been doing this for forever. I'm sure that we've had a few instances like that happen, you know. But like I say, if you haven't remodeled the home and it be unleveled, it shouldn't be much of an issue.
Perfect, thank you. Let's see, one last one. In your opinion, I guess I would consider this like order of operations. Is it better to replace a roof first or fix the foundation? Like if you have both needing repair, which would you recommend to address first?
Well, you know, the foundation is what everything depends on. And I would, with my experience, and I'll tell you a little story here in a minute, but the foundation, if you have a foundation issue, you should always address it first before you do anything else. And then, because if you do a roof and then you lift a home, it can actually, you know, interfere with the shingles. I did a house like it one time. It was a slab home. The guy had put a new roof on it about 5 months before we got out there, and we lifted the house about 3 inches across the front and down one side, and he was just thrilled, happy. And about 3 days later, he called me. He said, "I've got an issue." And I said, "What's that?" And he said, "I've got a ridge going down at an angle on my new roof." And I went out and looked at it, and you know, I told him either you're going to have the roofer reset the shingles, or we'll have to let the house back down. And he opted to have the roofer come out and redo the shingles on that front side. We actually kind of lifted them up, you know, because it was down those 3 inches. So it's always best to take care of your foundation first before you do anything, you know, no matter what it may be. Because it can affect any repairs, any new repairs.
Perfect. Yeah, that makes total sense. Thank you. Okay, sorry, one last question. Susan asks if there's a better time of year to do the foundation repair. For instance, summertime when the ground is dry, maybe not now because all the rain, or maybe in the wintertime, or do you guys have any recommendations there?
No, not really. You know, our weather, you know, it's either really wet or really dry, right? We never have really any consistency there. That's what really causes the foundation issues. But any time of the year is fine. You know, we're just not able to work when it rains a lot. Naturally, you know, ground gets muddy and things of that sort, and water standing around. But other than that, any time of the year is a good time to take care of it. Main thing is with these foundations, you know, that I really want to stress is that if you think you have an issue or you know you have an issue, the best way to handle it is give us a call just as soon as you can and see if we can get on it, because it's always going to be lesser to do it today than it is next year or what have you, you know. And especially if you're looking at maybe doing a remodel or adding a room on or putting a roof or whatever it may be, you should always, if you even have suspicion that you may need the foundation looked at, please have it looked at, and it'll be, you know, in your best interest, you know, and it'll most likely save you a lot of heartache and hard-earned money, you know.
Certainly. All right. I think that's it for the questions. Did y'all have any last remarks before we conclude?
Well, I just want to thank you again for, you know, sharing this time with us. You know, we really appreciate it, and I hope we've helped y'all. And if you have any other questions, or you know, just give us a call. You know, we're more than glad to send out a design specialist to take a look at your home's foundation. And you know, we got a lot of good, neat products. I've been doing this work myself for right at 40 years, and you know, beyond a doubt, we got some of the best products we've ever had. It's amazing how much this industry has progressed, and some of the patent materials, you know, these piers that we've been talking about here today, the push pier and the smart jack concentric, you know, they're the latest in technology, and you know, they really do make a difference in these homes that are having foundation issues. And it's something that you can really depend on through the years too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, John, Will, and Jade, for spending time with us today. So this is, as I mentioned, it's being recorded. So for our attendees, and then for y'all too, I'm happy to send you the link to our YouTube channel where that'll live. If y'all ever want to share that or watch it, that'd be awesome. And then we'll send out an email to everybody also with a survey and information on next month's meeting or event rather, for our virtual series. So again, thank you guys so much for sharing your information and spending time with us today. And I hope everyone has a great evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks.